You can see that eye there as it approaches the Cuban coastline. And really the biggest factor in where Ian ultimately ends up is where is this frontal boundary. 11 o'clock here tonight, we could start to see some tropical downpours, that squally weather as we get on that very southern side, including our barrier islands. 6 to 10 inches of rain, isolated amounts up to 12 inches. Winds 90 to 110 miles an hour.
Yeah, Jim, I'll tell you what, the wind has really started to pick up here. We've seen the National Weather Service just tweet out a short time ago, wind gusts in this area reported at 65 miles an hour.
I do have the full update here. I said I had to check to see what was going on here.
Exactly.
And I want to show you. This is what we are seeing. So coastal communities, the thought process is we are expecting development as we get into the Florida Straits late tonight, tomorrow morning, and then pushes off our coastline as it lifts off to the north there, potentially becoming a tropical depression or a weak tropical storm.
But the majority of them are staying offshore, and that's where we do expect Nicholas to go. And here's one of our forecast models, and you can see, again, offshore, but those strongest winds are also offshore. Moving away from the radar, the green colors are moving towards the radar, and the radar again in Brownsville. And you can see in this area right in here is where that circulation is.
Abundant lightning there from Tucker's Grade through Punta Gorda, following that up into the Charlotte Harbor area there as well. Let's take a look at just lightning strikes there in the last 15 minutes. 258 expired now, but just a short minute ago, they did have a tornado warning on top of all the flooding as well. And you can just see it's really not going anywhere.
Today, firefighters arrived to the 4th Street fire, not only just dealing with fire conditions, but also tree blowdown from Hurricane Ian.
Last summer, Hurricane Hannah, where we had 1 to 3 feet storm surge, and that's about here on me. I'm 5'8". Now going back to 1967, Hurricane Beulah, 14 feet of storm surge right here at Boca Chica Beach, well over my head.
We do have an upper level low pressure system that's basically just moving in towards the panhandle of Texas, and that trailing frontal boundary just continuing to suck up that Gulf moisture.
As those temperatures dropping below 45. Remember, they need the heat to regulate their body temperature. So as we warm up through the day, they will wake up. So don't touch them. Don't bring them inside.
The Saharan Desert there in Africa, and then that pushes off with tropical waves, which if we didn't have the dust, we maybe could see some tropical systems. But the dust, that kind of kills those storms. Myers Beach, Sanibel up towards Captiva, Pine Island. We have seen this backing off towards low concentrations. That's good news. One of our directors actually was at Bunch Beach yesterday. He was telling me no fish were on the beach, so that's obviously a good sign of things. Let's get you the latest of our cold front fast approaching here this morning, already reaching southwest Florida with some showers this morning. Let's take a zoomed in look here. You can see that rain all the way through Lake Placid, Arcadia, down to Port Charlotte, now approaching Cape Coral this morning. Now, none of this is terribly heavy, but it is going to be kind of a wet morning for us as that cold front moves on through the area. We're also looking at gray skies as you take a live look here in the Cape, 58 degrees. So it's not too bad, really, this morning, but that's all going to change as the day goes on. Temperatures across the board here this morning, 50s and 60s. Enjoy this because this is about what the high temperatures are going to be here today. Let's actually take a look at the next couple hours, hanging out right near that 60-degree mark through about 2 o'clock with those scattered showers in the forecast. And then after 2, we become very windy and those temperatures start to drop here. So let's time this out here on Future Clouds and Radar. Here's our cold front this morning, bringing in those showers through the area through about the 2 o'clock hour. And then they start to clear out. But we start to watch out into the Gulf now, because as the winds pick up, we're actually looking at some coastal showers. This is because the air aloft is so cold and the Gulf is about 55 to 60 degrees, and that's going to give it that moisture supply to trigger those coastal showers for us. And as temperatures drop, those coastal showers turn into maybe some coastal snow showers up near the coastline from Tampa all the way down to maybe Charlotte Harbor. You can see that reflected there. So if you want to go to the beach, maybe 6, 7 o'clock tomorrow morning, you may get a rare sight of some flurries in the sky. Good news is, though, not going to be accumulating. But the other thing we're watching, obviously, is the wind. And that's going to be picking up after that front this afternoon, gusting already up towards of 25, 30 by 2 o'clock, on our way up to 35, maybe 45 miles an hour right up along the coastline there. That's borderline tropical storm strength winds. That's how strong these are getting. And later
latest wind advisory is forecasting maybe even gusts as high as 50, especially near the coastline. And this wind advisory is for all of Southwest Florida until 7 a.m. there tomorrow. But even tomorrow is going to be rather breezy. Speaking of tomorrow, let's take a look at those temperatures. We're waking up there tomorrow morning in the 20s and 30s. But with that wind, that's going to be feeling like the teens and 20s. Take out this Moorhaven, 17 degrees. Yeah, bitterly cold. That's why we do have extreme cold warnings for those wind chills in the teens for our inland communities. Freeze warning for all of our inland communities, as well as temperatures expected below 32 for several hours. Could see a hard freeze in some spots inland. And then all of Southwest Florida also in a cold weather advisory for wind chills in the 20s if you're not in the teens inland. And tomorrow's not even much better. We're talking highs in the 50s, but with the wind still around out of the north at 17, it's probably going to feel like the 40s all day long. And then not much better Monday morning. Still about freezing, maybe not the wind still out there as much, but it's going to be another cold start to the week here on Groundhog's Day. We're going to be wishing for spring from the groundhog. Good news is, though, we do warm up later in the week, back in the 60s and 70s, and it does look like some sunshine in the forecast later in the week as well. And we're heading out to Fort Myers Beach this morning. Margaritaville Beach Resort there on this chilly New Year's Eve morning for us. Currently 45 degrees there at the beach, though, feeling like 39 for us at this time. It is a cold start out there, folks. 39 right now in Punta Gorda, Port Charlotte, 37 in Arcadia, Palmdale, as well as 38 out towards Lake 40 in Lehigh. Though, as you get into those feels likes, all of us feeling like the 30s. How about 36 in Golden Gate, 37 Lehigh, 34 in Punta Gorda, down near freezing. That feels like temperature in Arcadia. So definitely a cold start. Cold weather advisory still in effect until 9 a.m. because of those, again, wind chills below 35 here this morning. But other than that, it is clear skies across the peninsula. It's something I do expect to continue here today. And with that sunshine, we should warm up back near 50 degrees as we head into that 10 o'clock hour on our way up into the 60s later on here today. I'm going to go high at 63 Punta Gorda, 64 to Immokalee, LaBelle, Moorhaven, 62 in Palmdale, as well as Port Charlotte for you here today. And it's still a little bit of a breeze. Unlike yesterday where we had those gusts upwards about 25, 30, I don't expect that quite as high, maybe about 15 to 20 miles an hour, but still a little bit of a wind around today. It's going to leave us seas about 2 to 4 feet and moderate chop those inland waterways. That small craft advisory is going to be expiring here at 7 a.m. But other than that, it is going to be a quiet day, a sunny day here across Southwest Florida leading into tonight. I'm going to stop it here midnight, clear skies as we ring in the new year, and looking ahead to 2026 on Thursday. Well, sunny skies continuing here as we start to warm those temperatures up. But if you are going to be ringing in the new year here tonight, dropping from the 50s down into the 40s here in Fort Myers. Again, right around midnight, 47 degrees, clear skies on our way down into the 30s and 40s once again. Do I expect it to be as cold as this morning? Probably not, but still going to be a chilly night. Again, we'll be on iguana watch once again as those temperatures dropping below 45. Remember, they need the heat to regulate their body temperature. So as we warm up through the day, they will wake up. So don't touch them. Don't bring them inside. They will be just fine. But it will be another cooler day tomorrow. We are expecting, though, starting to warm up in the upper 60s. Some of us maybe even touching that 70-degree mark. We'll be continuing to see that warming trend into the weekend here. Looking at mid-70s there by Saturday, and upper 70s, maybe even some 80s as we get into next week, though. We are going to see a cold front keeping that humidity in check arriving on Saturday night.